There we go.
Good afternoon.
I was giving Ben the little air guitar.
Oh yeah,
the little air guitar in the thing, in the thing. What's the thing? In the intro song. And I don't know if I dreamed this or not, but did I say on the last episode it'd be fun if somebody could give us lyrics for that opening
you did.
musical
We
intro?
were talking about the intro.
I think that would be really good.
Yeah, and just as we were watching that, we were talking about playing live. Like having instruments. Jimmy Fallon does these little videos with like the musical guests that he has on the show, and it's always like they compressed into one room and they're playing little like pan flutes and stuff. It'll be fun. We should try it.
I'm gonna play. If we ever do live music,
you're gonna play electric guitar.
I'm playing guitar. I'm not gonna play a pan flute. I don't even know what that is, but it sounds like it's not.
Whatever.
It's not for me.
Chris would probably know that. Yeah, here it is. Yeah. There's always the guy with an xylophone. Yeah. Or there's a little like keyboard with a thing you blow into. Chris would know what that's called.
Kudos to Adele. I mean,
look at that.
Adele is looking good there.
Yeah. I mean, and Jimmy and the Roots, super talented, super talented. Classroom instruments, yes. Yeah. Jana is saying classroom instruments. Yes, they're always playing classroom instruments. That would be Jana. Try that.
Super fan Jana's on the line. I'm feeling on a different wavelength today.
How so?
Knees feeling good. Had a good therapy session.
I thought you've been moving around better today.
Got some new stretches under the belt. Kicked some old ones to the curb, which means progress. We're hopping and popping here at the store.
And I think you're off the pain meds, right? Or most of them?
Just at night.
Okay. All right.
Night times are a struggle.
There we go. Pianica. Look at that. Yep.
We had one of those as a kid in the house. We didn't have the attachment.
So
that would have made childhood so much better.
So you're already skilled in this, is what you're saying.
A melodica. That's what it was.
Yep. See, we need one of those.
I feel like my whole childhood could have been different. We didn't have the attachment.
What could you have done with the attachment?
Well, the tip was broken.
Oh, okay.
You blew on it. You hurt your teeth and gums.
You had a danger melodica, is what that was called.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
That's right.
What a start.
It was a good start. Hey, we've got somebody new on the team, Chad.
We do.
Chad Burkhart. If that rings a bell to Lancaster Countyans.
It should.
Lancasterites.
It should, yeah.
Lancastrians.
Yeah, there you go.
That's like Resprite instead of respite.
Right.
That's a Lancaster Connects moment of gold right there.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Resprite. That's when you pour your Sprite out in a glass and drink it. Anyway, Lancastrians might remember the Burkhart name related to furniture.
Yep.
Because his family was the Burkhart family that had Burkharts.
Just around the corner.
Just around where?
They were up on Manheim Pike, actually where Furniture to Go is now.
Oh, our friends at Furniture to Go. Yep, that was Burkhart's back in the day.
Well, at least
there we
go. I don't know if there was another one, but I know them at that store as Burkhart's.
So Chad is with us now, and Chad's a great asset to the team with Andrew and Drew and Nick and
Philip.
Yep. So Philip, I can't forget Phil. Oh my God. Love you, Phil.
He's not working today, so I guess he doesn't.
It was the pain pills talking.
Yeah, there you go. So that's where I was going with that. Asking if you were still doing the pain, are we going to experience some crazy things? But if you are still on, then we still are. So
keep you guessing.
Right, there we go.
Is what I'll say.
There we go.
So anyway, this show is not about what we've been talking about for 5 minutes. It's about the battle on Main Street, big versus small, really shining light on great people doing good things in our community, whether that's a charitable organization, a community organization, an educational organization, or a business organization who believes in doing good for our community. We have those folks on all the time. If you're any one of those people and you want to be on the show, you go to lancasterconnects.com/guest and we get started that way. But we love having good people on our show. We've got a great guest this week. And you can always catch the show really anywhere you watch video online is probably the best way to say it. But it's simulcast out live,
Facebook.
Coming to you, to your eyeballs and to your ears right now through the screen. Facebook,
YouTube,
LinkedIn.
I think that's it.
That's it. That's it.
For video players, but podcast players.
Podcast players too.
Yeah. Wherever you listen to podcasts.
But if you like to watch your YouTube on your TV and like really
Mhm.
struggle with the remote and like typing in Lancaster Connects, you can watch it there too.
Yeah. You know what? So this is probably 2 weeks ago now. Julian goes, "What's the name of your show?" Like Lancaster Connects. He's like, "I'm going to watch it." It's like normally he's watching like Dude Perfect or some other random, show
What's
like that.
Dude Perfect?
Oh, Dude Perfect is like, I mean, okay, your boys are grown. Your boys would have been big fans of Dude Perfect had they been
My boys
under
were fans
10.
my boys were fans of Logan and Jake Paul, who are now like big time entrepreneurs, business guys.
Yeah. So Dude Perfect, they're like trick shot, like masters. That's how they got their start. But it's burgeoned into this whole like thing. They have celebrities on. There they are. Yeah. It's a ridiculous show. Sometimes funny. I will admit it's sometimes funny. They're super cheesy, but like they are huge, absolutely huge with like the young boy crowd. But probably young kids. Actually, Amelia likes them, and she's middle schooler. But anyway, Dude Perfect is my point in all this is he wanted to watch Lancaster Connects over Dude Perfect. Like,
there you go.
That's awesome.
Love it.
I should ask I should follow it up with. What do you think? I don't know how long he watched, but I know he started it.
It's like you guys were boring.
Yeah, right.
There was no basketball.
I think he watched the whole show, but I'll have to ask him.
Well, John is watching from LinkedIn today, and we appreciate that. And wherever you're watching, we appreciate you. We appreciate your support because that's how we have really great guests on. And speaking of guests, let's bring on Dawn
Rise Ekdahl. Did I say that correctly, Dawn?
You did. Well, Dawn Rise. Close enough. Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Well, Dawn, welcome to the show. And you're with Historic Poole Forge.
That's correct.
You are the executive director there. So I guess our first question that, because it matters, we might just kick you off the show depending on the answer. Are you a Lancaster native?
I am not. So this might be my exit, right?
Yeah, we are not either. We were not born in Lancaster.
So no, I'm not from Lancaster. I actually grew up in Freehold, New Jersey, which is known as the hometown of Bruce Springsteen, most famously. And I moved to Lancaster County after I had conducted my doctoral research in Kenya. So I had moved out here, really appreciating the beautiful farmland and simpler, quieter lifestyle.
And what is your doctoral degree in?
My doctorate is in wildlife ecology.
See, I messed it up.
That's
I tried to sound smart and just like totally got shut down.
Doctorate. No worries.
How did I say it?
Don't know.
Doctoral
we could roll back.
PhD. There you go. Simplify it.
Basically, 11th grade education right here. Went to Votech to like mess with my car in auto mechanics senior year, and now I do this. So people just laugh at me and they buy mattresses.
There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. No, my schooling took me over to Africa many times, and
what was the most exciting
wildlife?
What was the most exciting thing about that being in Africa?
Oh gosh, there's so many things, but I spent every day working with primates for 2 years. So I was following primates through the bush, encountering elephants and buffalo and lions and all sorts of snakes and all sorts of exciting things you want to find and things you don't. But learned a lot about the African people and wildlife in general. Beautiful landscapes.
That would be an amazing place to visit and just experience.
Yeah, very, very cool. Well, we're here today to talk about the Historic Poole Forge, and I know nothing about it. This is like brand new for me. So tell us and everybody watching and listening all about it.
Great. Well, are you guys familiar at all with Eastern Lancaster County and our region here?
A little bit.
Okay. So contrary to most of Lancaster County, this area is Welsh. It was settled by the Welsh. So Poole Forge was started by a Welshman in the 1770s. There are 2 other forges on the Conestoga here that both were operating at the time. And they all operated until about the 1850s, when the entire iron industry moved out to Western Pennsylvania and Pittsburgh. So that's the kind of the basis of the area. Churchtown, Bangor Church, was one of the first and oldest Episcopalian churches in the country. And the Welsh line goes east from here through Valley Forge down into Philadelphia.
Very interesting. So what prompted the move for the steel industry to the western part of the state?
The advent technology, steel, the advent of steel and the railroad industry. So that's what, there were a few furnaces in operation until the 1900s, but most of the iron industry moved out west. And that's why if you visit, you'll still see furnaces, old furnaces, but the actual forge buildings don't exist anymore. Most of them fell into disrepair and are gone. But what we have here, despite the fact that we don't have the forge, is that we have the Ironmaster's mansion, the paymasters, several tenant houses, the old wash house. We have a lime kiln. And in 1859, a covered bridge was built on the property. Good timing.
Wow.
So that's what makes us special here. We're one of the most intact iron forges in the region.
See, I would have guessed the move was because of bigger rivers out west.
Oh, yeah, not so much. No, the railroad industry played a really big part. Yeah.
Interesting.
The other thing we have here.
11th grade education here talking.
Well, I had to learn all of this history when I moved here. This was all new to me. So being not familiar with the region, I've learned to really appreciate it. So we also have 3 intact hammerheads on the property, which is pretty special. You'll find that in some of the history books. That's a pretty unique situation.
So who decided and how was it decided to preserve this property? How did that come about?
So the property, it went from the iron industry into agriculture through the 1800s. A lot of absent tenants, absent landlords with tenants through the 1900s. And then in 2005, the Carnarvon Township was looking for open space and to create a park for the community. And the opportunity arose that this property came for sale. So it was a great, unique opportunity for Carnarvon Township to preserve some of the history of the region and create a beautiful park area along the Conestoga for the community.
Very cool. Very, very neat. So tell us about the mansion and the covered bridge.
Okay, so the mansion, this is where I am right now. You can see the fireplace, and I'm in the ballroom right now talking to you. This is the room and the whole mansion we rent out for baby showers, bridal showers, weddings, family events, celebrations. We did a murder mystery last year. And when the township purchased the property in 2005, this was in a pretty sad state of disrepair. And so through the years, the roof was replaced, windows were redone, and then we did a major renovation completed in 2017 with a grand opening. And that wall you see in that photo was added around the front. We actually found the original structure underneath the mansion there that predated the mansion.
Oh, wow.
And so, so it's historically, it's very interesting. We've kept most of the characteristics that, really make it unique. But we also added some comfort factors like air conditioning and indoor plumbing and heating, and so that people want to spend time in here. So
I can't imagine that people don't want the old world experience of an outhouse.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on, society.
I
Get
lived
with
that for
the
years
experience.
in Kenya. No, it's not something. Yeah, I think it's something we can move on from.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And the covered bridge, you said that was added to the property 1859?
1859, and I'm not sure what the original intention was when they added the bridge, except that they needed a bridge to cross the Conestoga, and typical of the region, a covered bridge was added. And we've been maintaining the bridge. So a little bit about the bridge. It's a burr arch truss bridge. And we actually have the Theodore Burr Society that comes in and helps us every year decorate for Christmas. They have their picnic here. And they recently assisted me, along with the National Covered Bridge Society, get a grant for fire retardant, which we'll be applying again this year. So that's really important. As you hear some of the horror stories for covered bridges, making sure the big trucks don't go through them and making sure they don't burn down. So we're going to be doing repairs this year, and then also applying a new coating of fire retardant.
So covered bridges, I don't know a whole lot about covered bridges, but obviously people come to Lancaster County and other places to see covered bridges. I know they have a big following. Why would somebody make a covered bridge? Like, what's the purpose of it? Is it to keep the road clean and dry? Is that why covered bridges exist? Precisely.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Your bridge has a longer life if it's covered.
Okay.
So, and then it became, the reason to preserve them as such became very kind of nostalgic. Lancaster County is known. We have 29 covered bridges in Lancaster County and 200 in Pennsylvania, or over 200 in Pennsylvania.
Wow.
So,
Is your
and
I'm sorry for interrupting. Your covered bridge, is that on a public road, or is that part of the property, not open to the public, but certainly accessible by walking?
Well, right. So it's within the park's property. But it is open to the public. So the public can access the bridge. We get summertime, I have a lot of tourists and guests that do a covered bridge tour and come here. The nice thing about ours is that most covered bridges, you're photographing, you're stopping to see it from a roadside. Here, you can actually stop and have a picnic and spend time, take a walk around, walk the nature trail.
Yeah. The reason I asked that, because I used to ride motorcycles and was part of a motorcycle group called Southern Cruisers Riding Club.
Mm-hmm.
And we would do a covered bridge tour on the motorcycles.
I get a lot.
Didn't recall your property or your bridge. And that's why I asked if it was open, like to drive your vehicle through.
Okay. Yeah, we've got another just down the road a couple miles. So we do I get motorcycle tours, I get antique cars. Of course, the covered bridge bicycle tour comes through.
Oh, that's cool.
The big, I forget, it's sometime in the summer, but we're part of their route. So we get quite a few covered bridge tours.
So you welcome most groups except the tractor, trailer, truck drivers.
Please, no box trucks, no big tractors, no campfires under the bridge. That happened a couple times. Yeah. So.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, that's.
Oh, yeah. It's amazing the things people don't think about. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good.
So is the park? Do you call it a park? The Historic Poole Forge, is that?
It's a park. Yes.
That's a park.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is the park open to the public? Just anybody can come use the park, or does somebody need to have
No, the park is always open. There's a playground in the back, a picnic pavilion, the mansion where I'm sitting right now. Then we've got a couple acres in front of the covered bridge where people picnic, play volleyball. And then if you go around the back of the creek, we have a ball field, a baseball field area, pollinator garden, wildflower meadow, and nature trails around the back.
Very cool.
And is there anything that you need to reserve in advance if you want to use it?
You do. You need to, if you want to reserve the mansion, that's for, it's mostly indoor events, but we also have the patio and porch. So if you reserve the mansion, you get the entire mansion area. There is the picnic pavilion, which you can reserve the pavilion, but the playground always stays open to the public. And then new this year, we have the covered bridge cottage that we're reopening. That's a bed and breakfast. That's pet friendly. It's in the building right across from the mansion, and you've got a great view of the covered bridge, open access
Wow.
to the park, and what better place to stay with your dogs?
How many rooms are in the bed and breakfast to rent?
It's got one big bedroom upstairs, and then a large area, open space area downstairs with a seating area, breakfast nook, full kitchen, very very cozy, yeah, and a pull out bed downstairs, so we could sleep
That's cool.
2, 4, or a family. Yep, there we go.
And
Yeah.
and does the township still own the property, or
Yes. So the township, so what our relationship is, the township, Carnarvon Township owns the property. Historic Poole Forge is the nonprofit that runs the property and runs all the events and all the activities. And that's basically myself plus a full board and all our volunteers.
yeah, because I was thinking it's pretty rare for a municipal government entity to have something as expansive and as involved as what you're doing. You know, you got a bed and breakfast, you've got a park pavilion, you've got a space you can rent for events, you've got a kids playground, picnic pavilions. There's a lot going on, so it's kind of rare. So now that makes perfect sense.
Right. Well, yes. So the township comes in and helps with the maintenance and many other things. But as far as all the events and activities, that's run through the nonprofit.
Yeah.
So you mentioned events. I know you host a lot of events throughout the year. Maybe you'd like to highlight some of the events and tell us more about what they are and how the community benefits from those events.
Sure. So we just kind of entered our event season. We were going to have on Saturday our season opener, which is where all the volunteers get together and we work on the grounds. And the weather was just not cooperative, so we split it up. We'll do it in several small sections, but the picnic tables are out. We did get into the gardens and started working on the gardens. But our next event is the spring plant swap that comes up April 14th. It's a very quick event. We do a setup at 6. The event starts at 6:30, and if you come at 6:35, well, it's over. So I don't know if you're familiar with plant swaps, but ours is pretty amazing. We've got a lot of plain community around us, the Amish and Mennonites, and who are avid gardeners in this region. And everyone brings something to share from their garden. So you can
neat.
find some heirloom varieties, some really interesting plants that you don't typically see. And last year was our biggest plant swap. We had over 100 people attend. So the picnic tables are full of beautiful plants. And then so everyone does the setup between 6 and 6:30. At 6:30, you pick what you really have your heart set on to bring home with you, and then everything else gets shared.
I bet you I was at Costco the other day, and there was a gentleman who had his heart set on 3 very specific plants, and I think he accomplished twisting the arm of the manager to bring him inside and set him aside. Sounds like he should go to the spring plant swap.
Yes, the plant swap's a lot of fun. And then following that, one of my favorite events of the year is the Children's Trout Derby. So we did just stock the creek with trout.
Oh, that's awesome.
A couple days ago for the opening day of trout. But that was about 250 that were put in. So for the Trout Derby, we put in close to 1,000 trout. That's with Beartown Sportsman Association. And we close it off at both ends of the park, from the pavilion to the Route 23 bridge. And that morning, children from 4 to 12 can come in and fish. It's a free event. Kids come. We get kids from all over the place, not just our local community. And lots of happy faces with the kids learning to fish or catching fish or spending time with their parents. Yep. It's a really great event.
I would imagine lots of happy kids pulling a fish out of the creek.
Yes.
Probably lots of crossing of lines and hooks up in trees and hooks in bushes.
We do.
That's not fishing if you're not doing that.
Right. I admire the patience of some of these dads that bring the kids down. It's pretty special. And we do have prizes and trophies for the biggest fish that are brought in for the age groups. So that's the next one. We have a photography show, local photography show that we highlight that weekend also. So that's coming up that same weekend. We have a Mother's Day tea in May, which I have gotten to where I don't even have to advertise anymore. It's almost fully booked already. It's pretty special. We usually have some sort of lecture or entertainment, and then all of the food is locally prepared by our volunteers and served. So it's pretty special event.
That's awesome.
Then in the fall, we have a community day. That is our biggest event of the year. Lots of activities for kids, very big highlight for the community. We've got nature shows and puppet shows and a turtle race and an airplane candy drop and barrel trains. And I can't even think of them all right now, but every year we add a few more goat races. So that's a really fun day.
Time out on the field here.
Yes.
The child in me is going crazy here. So turtle race, we got to talk about that.
Okay.
The airplane candy. That sounds pretty fun. So you literally have an airplane fly over and you drop candy.
He's amazing. It's an ultralight. He's absolutely amazing. He drops it exactly where he tells me he's going to, and he throws buckets of candy out the side. You'll have to go back and look. I have photos of him, where you can see him tossing he doesn't throw the bucket, but the bucket toss and all the candy raining down on the kids. So
he can fly the plane and toss the bucket at the same time.
And sometimes be talking to me at the same time. So yeah, he's amazing. He is absolutely amazing. Yeah. So that's how we end the day. That's a really good highlight at the end of the day. Yeah.
And I'm guessing it's been a success that no kids have been taken out, like they're running and the candy hits them in the forehead and they fall back. It's all safe and good.
All safe and good. No, we buy bags of candy. We pull out any lollipops or anything that would be a projectile. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man.
You pull out any assault candy.
And there's the turtle.
So yes. So he is not the one who races. That's our mascot. He has come every single year, and he welcomes everyone and is there for the ticket sales. But we just dump little rubber turtles into the creek. So you buy a ticket. It's like the rubber ducky race. So we dump them into the creek, and then whoever comes in first, there's prizes for it.
I was wondering where everybody got their turtle from.
Yes. No. Yeah.
We're not. No. I don't know. I mean, I see turtles, but I don't exactly see a bunch of them that you could have 50 kids.
That wouldn't be advisable.
It'd be funny if you pinstriped your turtle and put numbers on it and got sponsors.
It would be a really long race though. It could potentially end, right?
Well, you could start in the morning and decide winner at 3.
There you go.
Well, the goat races goes much faster. So there you go. There's the goat race. Goat race is a lot of fun. We have some local families that raise goats, and they bring them in, and you get a chance at your goat on a leash and racing down through a little alley. So lots of laughs for that one.
Did you just say there's a family that professionally races goats?
Well, they raise goats professionally. They
they raise them.
They raise them. Yeah. They don't raise them. They just raise them.
This is what's great about our country. You can make money at anything.
Yes.
You race goats.
I'm a goat racer.
Yeah. Hey, new profession. Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, there's goat yoga.
Yes. This is true. Yes.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Yep.
There's goat yoga. Our friend Rachel, I'm Facebook friends. Rachel, she got remarried, and I'm forgetting her married name now.
Drosky or something.
Yes, but her prior was Rachel Ballantyne, and I'm sorry to her and her husband for her married name. It just is off the top of my head. But she has her family has fresh farms in northern Lancaster County, and They have baby goat weekend. I saw on Facebook.
Oh,
So you can like hug a baby goat, and there's baby goat yoga,
Mm.
and I thought we had goat racing, like racing teams, like Penske racing team. That would be something if the Penske family crossed over, because they're like out your way.
they
right?
are. Yes. Yep.
Yeah,
Just a
maybe
few
they
miles
need
down
to.
the road.
Maybe we're coming something
I
here.
don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That'd be so if there was a Penske hybrid of a goat.
Maybe Lancaster Connects could sponsor that goat.
That would
Well,
be
there
good.
we go. Yeah, maybe I should be looking to Penske to sponsor our boat races.
There you go.
Yeah,
See,
great idea. Say, yeah.
just
Always
paid for
have
the
to
whole
keep looking.
whole price of admission, just right there.
So,
Covered it.
so Dawn, I'm sure you have groups that want to rent the grounds or mansion or for other things that they do. How do they do that? And what are the ways that people can use the grounds?
Okay. Well, we don't typically rent out the grounds to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we don't typically rent out the grounds for other events. We do rent the mansion for things like I did last year. I had a health expo in the mansion. Like I said, a murder mystery. So we do weddings on the grounds, but we don't, or we just haven't had the opportunity to rent out the whole grounds for something
I see.
else. So that usually we want to keep the access to the public and the community. So we're
Makes
very
sense.
popular for dog walking, picnicking, bird watching, fishing. People spend time along the creek. So we want to try to, we like to balance it that we give space to everyone. So
How big is the property?
it's 26 acres.
26 acres. Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's big. Yeah, so you have to excuse him. Ben likes to get guests on and get the inside track and just gobble up all the space on his own.
That's
It's
right.
just, you have to forgive him.
Hey,
If the
no, these are all important things. Yeah. So.
Do you have another question?
No, I was waiting for you. I was giving you the
Who's
lane,
next?
sir.
Yeah.
So you're the executive director, and you mentioned the board. Are there volunteers that volunteer their time there at the Forge?
Yes, I do have volunteers, and like many organizations since COVID, we've been pretty slim on our volunteering. That really changed a lot of things, but you can volunteer to get involved with one of our events. The one event I didn't mention is our Christmas show, which is Christmas at the Ironmasters in the mansion, and that's very popular. We have local businesses come in and do their own take on decorating a tree or a room. And then the public come in, and the mansion's just magical with all the decorations. And then the public come in and you vote on your favorite decoration. And we have wagon rides and Santa's here and bonfire and all sorts of other things. So that is a very volunteer heavy event to put on because we want to keep everyone's items safe. Poole Forge Day. So you can come in as an event volunteer. So that's just periodic. We need volunteers for mowing. We take responsibility for all the mowing of the property. So right now I have a team for each week of the month that mows the entire grounds, usually 3 or 4 guys that will do that. Our property maintenance, so any repairs, picking up sticks or, minor repairs on the property. That's a major one there. That was the redoing of the roof.
Yeah, that looks like a big undertaking.
Yes,
So
yes.
was
So that was a hired contractor that came in and
Yeah,
did
you
that.
hired out for that. Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
but I have had volunteers. Like the entire inside of the mansion was painted by volunteers. So a lot of our outdoor projects were done by volunteers, and then the gardening. We really like to take care of our gardens, so that's
just as Ben uses Lancaster Connects as an opportunity for him to gobble up space for himself and his endeavors. Could I get some of those paint volunteers to come to my house?
My favorite one just moved away. So yeah, that's a tough one. Yeah, but yeah. I mean, we welcome any volunteers. It's just myself plus volunteers. So I'm happy, especially the gardening. We really put an emphasis on having beautiful gardens here.
Yeah, I
But
saw
go
as
ahead.
we were flashing through your website, you had I'm going to butcher it, a pollinating garden.
Yes.
Is
So
that what it
So yeah,
is?
pollinator garden. You're very
There
close.
we go.
Pollinator. So well, this is being that my background is in wildlife ecology. When I first started as director here, preserving the history is important, but my real passion is in the nature and ecology. So each year we get together with a group and we make some sort of improvement on the park. So we have since added riparian buffer all through the park. We've added the wildflower and grassland meadows for pollinators. We've added a pollinator garden. We added nature trails. We've added bird habitat. We've added rain gardens, and this is all done with the help. And I really appreciate our local Lancaster organizations, like Lancaster Sierra Club has given us grants. The Lancaster Conservation District, we did a very large creek reconstruction project with Lancaster Conservancy has come in and done some riparian buffer work. And in fact, they're coming to do a lecture next month for native habitats for the community. And Fish and Wildlife, Pheasants Forever. I mean, we work with a lot of really great local organizations to really make this property an example so that local people can see how you can take these concepts and do them at home. That's the most important thing.
Love it. I mean, it certainly looks like you're bringing it. See, don't love that on the screen.
Okay. So so that was the other thing I neglected to mention. So in the summer, we do a summer nature series for children. So that's Phil Whitman. He's actually one of my board members. And he, along with several other dedicated lecturers, and I try to switch it up, bring a few new ones each year. And we do a program for children in the summertime. So it's every Wednesday at 1:00. Sometimes I add in a few on the weekends, and we pick a topic. It's either birds or wildlife or fish in the creek or macroinvertebrates in the creek or just your basic plant ecology. So that's we've been really working on the kids here.
Well, I'm happy for Phil, your board member, and I'm happy for Phil and the children.
Can we put the snake back on, please?
But I'm not a fan of snakes at all.
Oh, he's our reptile fella. He is the owner of the giant tortoise, which is Peabody, who comes to the giant African tortoise
awesome.
Over 25 years. Yeah, Phil loves his snakes. I don't mind them either, as long as they're not venomous.
I don't like them at all.
We got a visit on Snake Day.
Yes, I'll let you know. Yeah, our reptile program will be.
I was at my campsite.
Mid-July.
I was at my campsite this weekend, and I sprinkled around the snake away stuff. Because I don't like them at all.
Not a fan.
No, they can do their thing just away from me.
Yeah. Well, this is the time they start coming out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Dawn, I know somebody could be a member of Historic Poole Forge. Is that correct? You can have a membership there?
Yes. Yep. So we have some very dedicated members. And what that affords you are mostly discounts on the pavilion and the mansion rentals. So, and also, a first look or if we've got special events, those members find out about it first. And we are launching a photography membership this year. We have a lot of photographers that come here and do family portraits, family sessions, graduation, senior portraits. And we're going to offer some unique photo opportunities, like with the Christmas sleigh out at Christmas time, our Gruber wagon.
Very smart.
So we'll set up some photo shoots, some special photo shoots for that membership.
Very smart. Yep. Very smart. I like that a lot.
Oh, great. Thank you.
That's very smart. I mean, you're really working to utilize the whole property and bring in all these subsets of people that can utilize it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just that you have to be into old iron making.
Well,
and forging.
Right. I mean, that's it. There's
That's just the hub.
exactly. The iron industry and the people who are really, I mean, Churchtown is really special for its history. It's pretty unique with the Welsh heritage here, but only so many people are interested in that. So we try to, with the covered bridge and with the ecology and the recreational opportunities.
Very smart. Very smart.
So you've you mentioned some of your upcoming events. You talked, you mentioned the photographer idea. Do you have anything else big coming for Historic Poole Forge, either in 2023 or beyond?
Oh, as far as events,
or just anything new that you might be doing?
Yeah, I mean, the newest thing, there's a great goat race photo.
That's awesome.
The newest thing for this year will be getting that bed and breakfast opened up, the Covered Bridge Cottage, and being able to welcome visitors from near and far with their pets. So that's going to be happening, and we're just going to continue. I mean, we want to lead by example here, so we'll continue to work on removing the invasives and planting more natives along the creek, and just making this property both beautiful and a great wildlife habitat.
Yeah. It sounds like the bed and breakfast could be listed on Airbnb under one of those unique properties.
It will be soon. Yeah, I should have it back open in June.
I figured as much.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah. Well, who else has a view of a covered bridge out your window? It's pretty special.
Right. Yeah. Like there's other ones on there where you can sleep in a shipping container. Big deal.
No thanks.
This is very cool.
Yes.
Yeah,
and
cool.
And we do need a mattress. I do need a new bed and mattress for this Covered Bridge Cottage. So I will be calling you guys about that.
Well, very good.
You probably can help.
We can help out with that.
Yes.
We know somebody.
You do.
Well, Dawn, thanks so much for sharing about Historic Poole Forge. Really cool property.
Yeah.
Can you just, some people are listening, can you share the address and maybe just a little direction, like how to get there for people that are listening?
Sure. So our physical address is 1940 Main Street in Carnarvon Township. So we are, if you're familiar with Route 23, we sit right along the Conestoga Creek, in between Churchtown and Goodville. But more broadly, the best way to describe us is we're 3.5 miles from Shady Maple.
There you go. Yep. Everybody knows Shady Maple.
Everybody knows Shady Maple. So yes.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Should be a new tradition. You go to Shady Maple on your birthday for free food, and then you go to Historic Poole Forge to walk it off.
There you go.
I have so many people that pick up food and come and picnic here. People
There you
from
go.
all over
That's a
the
better
place.
idea.
Yes. Yeah. We're a beautiful picnic spot. So
Although I think if you go to Shady Maple, like my mind is, if I go to a buffet like that, I have to do 7.2 trips. And not just one to-go container.
You're going to have to walk our nature trail for a while. Yeah.
There you go, Dawn. You have to watch. She's just busting on me now.
I can do the buffets too, man.
It's time to say goodbye to Dawn. She's busting on the host. It only goes one way, Dawn.
Sorry.
And your website is historicpooleforge.org, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's
yep.
right.
Well, very cool. Very cool.
Good.
Thanks for sharing. Do you have a few more minutes for Connection Cocktail?
I do. Absolutely.
Right. So,
what if somebody would say no? What would you do?
Well,
You'd be hurt.
I guess I would. So, Dawn, this is just our way of getting to know you a little bit better and the things you like to do in Lancaster. So, do you have a favorite thing you like to do in Lancaster?
Well, I thought about this long and hard, but I'm such an outdoors person. So basically what I really like to do in Lancaster is enjoy the beautiful preserves that we have. So I hike, I kayak, I spend a lot of time outdoors with the dogs. But the other thing I spent a lot of time recently is I also volunteer for Raven Ridge Wildlife Center, and I do all their photography. So
cool.
Most of the time you can find me with a camera in my hand. I really enjoy our wildlife and the beautiful landscapes here. So I do a lot of photography. And then for Raven Ridge, I photograph their wildlife releases, some of their special events. And I just recently had an amazing opportunity to go with the Pennsylvania Game Commission to on a bear cub ear tagging. So that was really, really pretty special to see. So yeah,
Did you get to hold a little bear?
I did. I got to hold 3 at once. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Yes.
that's awesome.
So yeah, they're tiny. Yeah, they truly are like little teddy bears. And mom was deep asleep at the time, so I felt
I was
comfortable.
going to say,
doing
how did
that.
Mama feel about
Yeah,
that?
right.
Yeah, mama
pretty
was still
protective.
sleeping. So yeah, I would say I treasure Lancaster for its farmlands and its beautiful preserves. That's where I spend my time.
Very good. Well, what's your favorite annual event you go to? And I don't think I need to say this. You can be shamelessly self-plugging your own events, but what's your favorite annual event?
Well, and again, I had to think, but the event that I never miss, and it's not my event, but it's Churchtown's event, is our Memorial Day parade and ceremony.
Oh, cool.
It's a very small parade. You blink your eye and it passes by, and then it comes back. But there's a gun salute at each of the cemeteries. We cut flowers from the park and place them on over 100 graves on the churches in town. And then it's just a very poignant ceremony at the end that really makes you feel like this is what Memorial Day is all about, and the whole community comes out. So that's my annual event, and it's also one of the oldest in the country.
Very nice.
That's our little Churchtown event. Yeah.
Yeah, those community events like that, like a little parade. You said it's a small little parade, but there's so much passion there, and like the community rallies around it, and those things are the best.
Yeah. Do you have, when I was involved in Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts, do you have any scouts that come out for that?
I do, and I'm glad you said that because I forgot to mention them in some of our projects. I've actually had some Eagle Scout projects that
Oh, wow.
That's cool.
have built the birdhouses and helped with the nature trail. And then we do have some scouts that come out for the parade, and I believe one even played the bugle for us. So yes, they do. Mm-hmm.
Very good.
That's cool. So last question. Let's say you're bringing friends and family into Lancaster and you'd like to impart something on them, whether that's a place you'd like to go to or just show them something about Lancaster. Is there something that you like to show off about Lancaster to your friends and family?
Well, that was kind of a no-brainer. I bring them here.
Great.
And now they got a place to stay.
Yes. So this is where we usually start because I know it the best. I'll take people walking through the nature trails, fishing on the creek. And again, yeah, I mean, I spend a little bit of time in Lancaster City, not a whole lot, more out on, in some of our beautiful preserves. So that's usually what I do when I have guests come from outside.
That's cool.
Very good. Dawn, this has been a pleasure.
Hey,
Thank you.
Great to get to know you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, likewise. Thank you for doing all you do. It's obvious that you got your hearts in the right place. You got a lot of energy that you bring. You've got your board. It's you. It's your volunteers. But it's really cool to see how you're driving the mission there to get more people to the forge, so it can remain for a long, long time in the community. So thank you for that.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Yeah. So that's historicpooleforge.org. You check it out. One thing we didn't cover is where volunteers go if they want to volunteer. Is it on the website? Is it a Facebook group? How do they get a hold of you?
Both. They can go on the Facebook group is really, and the website is a little. We just finished getting up a brand new website, so I'm still tweaking it. There's still a few areas that I'm working on. But you can go to the volunteer page if you'd like to volunteer. And then the Facebook group, I keep pretty active, letting people know what's going on. So that's a great way to get in touch through. Also, just leave a comment or message me, or you can use the contact form through the Get Involved.
Very good. All right. Dawn, thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Appreciate your time.
Appreciate it. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Have a great rest of the day. Bye.
You too.
You do the same. Stay away from those snakes.
I could feel you like,
man. I'm just not a fan. I am not a fan at all.
Really get that off.
I had him get all up on me as a kid. My wedding day.
What happened on your wedding day?
You didn't know the story?
I don't think so.
My wedding day, after we're married, okay, put a ring on it, right? we're at the place where you get the photos outdoors. I forget where it's at
This
anymore.
is great. This is great.
You never heard this?
No, I don't think so.
So, the girls are off doing the girl photos and the guys are like,
messing
just
around.
hanging to the side.
Yep.
And it's time for everybody to come together. We came together and we had to all walk together somewhere else. And I step in a hole and I look down and there's a snake wrapped around my foot. And I ran, left my bride in her white wedding dress. She's
Where'd you go?
screaming. Everybody thinks it's like bees or something. I'm gone.
You're like George Costanza when there's smoke in the kitchen and he barrels his
Well, I didn't
girlfriend's mother.
I didn't run over a grandma, but I left my wife to deal with the snake. So I ran, and then that photographer took photos of me running away.
Oh my gosh, we gotta find these photos.
Yeah,
Does Steph have them?
They didn't.
Steph has to have them.
This was in 2002. We didn't have digital cameras. This is when you bought the photo package, and that one stayed on the cutting room floor. So good luck finding that. It ain't happening. So anyway,
I'm gonna see Steph tomorrow.
that was August 24th, 2002.
That's you. That's totally you.
I didn't bowl anybody over. I just ran away from my wife of like 4 hours or no, not less than that.
But less than that, yeah.
Maybe 2 hours. I left her behind till death do us part, health or whatever. There was nothing in there about snakes.
How big
So I
was the
gone.
snake? Are we talking like?
Well, I'm a big guy, and it was around my ankle like 3 or 4 times. So it had to be at least.
Okay, so it was a big snake.
It had to be at least 7 feet. So anyway,
make sure you tell Wilmer to earmark this this little reel part here.
Right. Yeah. So listen, if you're up for this kind of tomfoolery and you still want to be a guest, good for you. You go to LancasterConnects.com/guest and we'll have you on the show. Just for anybody commenting, superfan John is the only one in the run for prizes, but you do get prizes here on the show by commenting. We spin the prize later at the end of the show, and you get drinkware. My co-host is derelict on his
Oh yes,
duties.
excuse me. I was
You get a
focusing in on
choice
the
of
testimonial that's coming.
True
up.
Flask, Less Snore, More Cuddle drinkware, or a really nice little on-the-go bundle, little pillow and blanket. I love this pillow. Helps my elbow and my truck on my armrest. So a number of ways you can use that. So it's your choice. But those are the prizes. And Nathan gets in at the last minute and makes it a horse race at the finish.
All you need is one comment.
That's right. That's it.
Jonna doesn't get like eight entries for her comment.
Steve's going at it. There we go.
Oh, you know what? Actually, Casa is going to be a guest. I forget the date. I think it's like early May, but we just booked them sometime within the last week as a guest.
I wonder if he knew that and had an inside knowledge,
I
or
don't
just
know.
recommended. Either way, Steve,
Don't
thank
know.
you.
I don't know
Now
Jessica.
it's a 3-way
but
horse race.
I think Jose and maybe Carlos
Actually,
would be our guests.
I think I'm going to announce prize later races. This will be a
Later
little.
races.
This will be a little inside knowledge on Lancaster Connects, since I made a fool of myself, which is just about every episode. It's a 3-way goat race for the prize later. How about me thinking they raced them? They raced RACE as opposed to raising them RIAISE.
That's good. But they do have a goat race, so I can see where you're going with that. And then I do know there's a brewery. That's a word that's tough for me to say, in Pottstown or Limerick, right somewhere in Montgomery County. That Sly Fox Brewery, they do goat races as part of a whole afternoon or week-long beer event. It's a big deal. So
is there a goat advocacy group to make sure that goats, because we got goat yoga, you got
who's speaking for the goats, right?
You got Hug the Baby Goats, you got me wanting to like crossbreed them with race cars. Anyway,
who's watching the goats?
It's a race to the prize later.
Oh my gosh, look at that.
we're hooking them to sulkies now.
Look, that one's going sideways. Okay, he's going to run into the fence.
He's a bad racer.
Yeah, they should tell him like the straight line is the quickest point between 2 points.
He jumped out of his car.
We should get to our testimonial.
This is why it pays to watch the show, folks, and not just listen.
Right.
Because if you're just listening, you're like, You didn't get how long the snake was on around my ankle. You didn't get to see the goat races.
This is like top-notch podcast producer stuff. Like has Chris had this in the background for like 20 minutes just hoping we'd talk about goat racing again?
This is only stuff you get with fourth-rate podcast producers. That's an inside joke.
Yep.
At any rate, so what do you have now? Let's get back to it. What do you have?
Yeah,
next?
I have a testimonial, and every once in a while, a testimonial comes along that's just like, you can't write a testimonial this well yourself.
Oh, I know the one.
So like,
yep, that one.
Yeah, Janessa became a customer recently.
Just this weekend, I think.
Yeah, she said there's a reason why Gardner's Mattress is rated the best in Lancaster County and beyond. We were so impressed by our shopping experience with them and know that you would be too. Initially, we wanted to support a local company and purchase a USA-made product, and Gardner's definitely fit the bill. Drew was exceptionally helpful in providing us with a lot of useful information and never came across as pushy or salesy. We took time to think and consider our options, but ultimately came back to Gardner's to purchase an incredible posh and lavish mattress. The mattress is so dreamy and luxurious. Best night's sleep we ever had, ... I mean, all kinds of other things she said in there, but it's a fantastic review.
It was.
Not pushy. Drew was fantastic, gave her information. She didn't buy the first visit, which we don't need to have happen. We want people to spend time to make the right decision.
Yep.
And that's what we always encourage. So thank you, Janessa, for your business and your kind words.
And your support in that testimonial. Absolutely. We appreciate that. My sleep better tip would be what we've been doing here the last 5 minutes. Laugh. You actually, I think the science says, maybe I should get my doctoral degree in laughology.
There you go.
But the science says it's out there. It's easier to smile than it is to frown. And if you laugh a little bit, you relieve stress, and relieving stress before bedtime is good. So pop on a comedy special, tell some jokes. There we go. Our podcast producer is elevating his stature. Yeah. By the way, if you need anything podcasting, Chris at castahead.net or castahead.net would be the place to go. But yeah, put some Charlie Chaplin on.
It feels like he's got like 3 people putting the show on.
Right. It's like there's a whole team.
Right. There's like an incredible amount of stuff that gets researched and put together. And
so it's like in the background, let's get the Charlie Chaplin thing up for Jeff's comment.
Goat races, go.
Yeah, right. It's like just great. It's all good stuff.
Thank you, Chris.
At any rate, yes, thank you for making our show great. Had a whole bunch of comments. It is a 3-way goat race, I think, or is it a 4-way goat race? I think it's just 3. It's a 3-way goat race.
John tried to get another entry in there
to the prize later. So yeah, let's fire up the prize. I think that's all we've got here.
That's all she wrote.
That is all she wrote.
Where does that saying come from?
It's a 3-way goat race to the prize later. I'm using that every week. Here, and Jonna wins. Totally random. Jonna wins. There you go, Jonna. You know the routine. Come on in and see us. One of these days we'll have Jonna on the show because she's built herself a fantastic business with Edward Jones. She unfortunately probably has to go through 17 miles of compliance with her FINRA people because she's in finance, and that's just how it goes. It's fair. It's all, I get all of it. But Jonna, you've got an open invite anytime to be on the show.
She could just be Jonna Green Lancastrian.
That's right. Lancastrite.
Okay.
Isn't that what I said earlier?
You said Resprite. I'm not.
I thought we debated on if you were a Lancastrite or
just end the show.
A Lancastafarian.
There you go. Oh yeah. Boy.
It is that time. It's 59 minutes and 47 seconds. So it is good to end on Lancastrian.
Yep. Till the next connection.
Thank you, Lancastrians. Till the next connection. I like that. Saving up all our wins for the giant teddy bear. I love it. Love it.
Great. Yeah.
We need to get a giant teddy bear.
We used to have a giant sheep.
Yeah. Goat. Anyway, we'll see you next week on Lancaster Connects. Take care.